It's All Good with Sierra Scott. Brought to you by Cessna Aircraft Company. With nearly 80 years in Wichita, Cessna Aircraft Company is proud to sponsor It's All Good, highlighting positive people and activities in our shared community. Central Security Group, peace of mind for you and your family.
Hello and welcome to It's All Good. This is a show about people, places, companies, and organizations that are working hard to make the world a better place. And there are a lot of them. There aren't many teenagers who can say they've been featured on a national magazine by the time they're 16. Well, a Wichita girl sure can. And she was featured for more than just being beautiful on the outside, although she definitely is. She was featured because she's even more beautiful on the inside. And when you see her, you're going to realize how hard that really is to be.
You know, there's a lot more out there to do than yourself, just to focus on yourself.
Katy Weidner is so full of energy, enthusiasm, and hope that it spills over onto everyone around her.
I have to do it times 10. Everything in my life is times 10.
Katy is not only amazingly beautiful, incredibly smart, and extremely outgoing, she's also one of the most giving people you will ever meet.
I know it's kind of cliched and everyone says it, but no good deed ever goes unnoticed, and that is something now that I really do believe in.
Last Christmas, Katy created a project that led her to win the National Cosmo Girl Venus Embrace Goddess Challenge. But at the time she planned her event, she didn't even know the contest existed. Katy originally organized a charity event to bring her friends back together.
And I'm a sophomore at Mays High School, and I kind of realized that we all started to break apart. In middle school, we were really close. Every single girl in my grade was really close with each other. And high school just kind of broke us apart. You know, girls went different ways. Girls dated older guys. Some girls we just all spread apart. We weren't the same close group of friends. And I really wanted to do something to just bring everyone together.
But she wanted more than just a social event.
So I wanted to do something that was really meaningful. And at the same time, I wanted to do something for myself, like a charity, like think of something that I could do. And then one night, it just hit me.
She planned the entire event in about 2 days. But instead of inviting just the girls from her group, Katy invited everyone in her class to take part.
It was about 5 o'clock, and I'm like, geez, I hope someone shows up.
About 30 did.
We broke into about 4 groups of 7 girls, and we each went to a different neighborhood, and we had Santa hats on, and we were all dressed up, and we went door to door and collected spare change for Toys for Tots, and we had like a jingle that my mom made up because we didn't know what to say.
At the time, Katy set a goal to raise $200.
I told the girls, I was like, okay, you know, this could fall through. We could get $100, but that's $100 we didn't have. Oh, that was so fun. Wow. My goal was expecting to get, you know, change, dollar bills. People were giving us 20s. People were writing us checks.
At that time, they still had no concept of the effect they were having, at least not until they returned.
And we all went in my room, and we just dumped out all of the buckets. We laid out a towel on my floor and just dumped out all the buckets of change and everything we had. And we all kind of look at each other for a second, and we're like, this is a lot of money. Like, this is a lot. So we start counting it out.
Wow. Okay, let's just start sorting. What if we just separate out?
It's 9 o'clock, it's a school night. We don't get done counting till like 10:30. And we get done, and like we kind of divided it, and each group counted theirs. And I wrote it down, and I added it all up, and I was like, girls, we have $800. And we all just sit there for a while, and we're like, no, we messed up somewhere. And we do it again, and we count it again, and we're like, this is incredible. And I can remember sitting in my room with all the girls, and every girl was on their phone telling everyone about it and texting, and someone called channel 963 and put it on the radio, and just everything just fell together.
But that wasn't all they raised. The next day, the money just kept pouring in as word about their adventure spread through the school.
You guys, our goal was like $400. We have like 1,000. Wow. In dimes.
Before I know it, like teachers are giving us money, and like just students are like, it's really cool to hear about you guys doing this. I want to be a part of it next year, giving us money and like really helping us out. And so by the end of Friday night, we had gotten up to $973.
But the benefits weren't over yet.
On Friday night, after school, and we all go shopping. And that had to be the highlight of my sophomore year, because I mean, what girl doesn't want to go shopping with 30 of her best friends? And so for us to have like carts full and like I didn't realize how fun it was to shop for toys. Like I'm just standing there with all of my best friends. I'm looking like thinking about this 5-year-old when she opens this Barbie that she's never had, and I'm like, I want this one and I want this one, or if I was 10 years old I would want this. And we stand there and we have like 4 cartloads like packed full of toys.
The girls then brought these toys to the KZSN toy drive the next morning.
And we drove up. There was 2 exhibitions just stuffed with stuff.
Which made her realize,
if it was not for us, like if it was not for 30 girls being able to realize what's more important in their life, like putting others before themselves, there would not be 100 toys sitting in that army truck going off to kids. Like that's when it hit home. And I looked around and there was girls crying. Like I'm like, this is really what brought us together. Like doing something for someone else brought us closer.
But that wasn't the end of it. Last February, Katy was reading Cosmo Girl when she came across the application for the Venus Embrace Goddess Challenge, a contest for teens who had done something to better their friendships or their community, a contest that seemed almost tailor-made for her.
About 2 or 3 months later, I had heard back and I won a trip to LA. First got the email, like I read it and I was like, what? I totally forgot about this. Like I entered it 2 months ago, you know? Like, why are they just, I was just in shock.
That email popped into her computer just after midnight.
I ran upstairs and told my mom, like woke both my parents up and they were like, what, Katy, what are you talking about?
With all the internet scams out there, her mother was concerned it might not be true.
And she puts her hand on my knee and she's like, Katy, I'm really excited, but don't get too excited yet. I'm thinking this is a spam. This is just kind of too good. You know, they're probably just sending this out. It's fake. Let's not get excited about it. And I was like, you're right, you know.
The good news is, it didn't take her long to hear from them.
But then the next day, she gets a phone call, and we have flight arrangements set up.
And before she knew it, Katy was on her way to L.A.
What was it like? What was the experience like?
It's something I will always live to tell about.
Katy won more than just a title, though. She was also asked to host a leadership event with teens in L.A. Katy was so inspirational when she spoke at that event, she impressed a woman by the name of Courtney McAvinta.
She's an author of the book Respect, and she was just totally along the same lines of everything in her life that I am, like getting girls to come out of their shell and realizing what's important, and her and I talked forever.
McAvinta was so impressed by Katy that she wants to organize a Respect rally here in Wichita, with Katy as her co-host. For all of you adults out there who are worried about this generation, with students like Katy around, you can see that the world is really in good hands.
A lot of times people just look at high school girls as being, you know, like bratty and just really selfish is, I guess, the best word. I mean, it's all about what you wear, what you want to do, or how you look, or who you're dating. But when you sit back and look at it, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. I'm only going to be in high school once, you know? It's so pointless for me to waste time.
Toys for Tots, will you help the kids? They need toys and lots of joy, so spread some Christmas cheer. Hey!
Now I hear everyone being like, what are we going to do next?
800 people entered that Cosmo Girl contest nationwide.